Here at the top right of Daybreak is our Protoss player. He is down a game. Just basically could have held that last game, but did not manage to pull it off. He is StarTale's TricKsteR. And here is our Zerg, I almost said Terran for some reason, our Zerg player who kind of revolutionized Zerg versus Protoss before by inventing a build that shut down the fast expand. He used it in the last game. Will he do it again this game? He is Incredible Miracles LosirA.
Well, by the looks of it, TricKsteR wants to go for a fast expand. Obviously, he's put his pylon down the low ground. You know, on a map like this one, you can go Nexus first, but I think to be safe, TricKsteR's in a dire situation. I think to be safe, we'll most likely see him go for Forge first. Again, if he loses this, there's actually no chance for him to advance out of this group at all. So this is a really important match for him. It's his last life, so to speak, in the Arena of Legends. And LosirA just actually made him look silly last game.
Yeah.
He slapped him down. He was like a bear that slapped the trout right out of the river, man.
I would say that the trout just dove into the bear's mouth that game because it was actually TricKsteR that made himself look bad.
That's true.
He just, I mean, like, we just keep going back to it. I'll just say it one more time and be done with it. He had force fields. He didn't use them. The Lings got in. That's all. Yeah,
he was waiting till the last second, but I feel like it wasn't necessary in that case. And then when he waited to that last second, he botched it, and then things were just over at that point.
Now, here's the thing. TricKsteR, I think he actually might go Nexus first. I mean, obviously he's saving up.
He saw the hatch first.
But yeah, he scouted on his pylon, so he was able to find out if it was a pool first or a hatch first. So seeing the hatch first, seeing that there's no spawning pool, it makes complete sense to go for the Nexus first. Still safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And this probe
might even get a gateway before his Forge.
This probe is doing some magic, man, to avoid the drones of LosirA. LosirA actually pulled 4 drones. You guys didn't get a shot of it. He pulled 4 drones to chase that probe.
Really
because he was so nervous
dead.
about the possibility of being cannoned on this map.
Yeah.
There are a few places on this map where you can put pylons and wall off a cannon, like you've seen those. I'm sure you've seen some YouTube videos of these things happening. It's actually a common occurrence.
I'm just laughing because I saw a player the other day. I won't say their name because it was really embarrassing for them, but they were streaming and they tried to do that, but they didn't know where to put the pylons, and so they made like 5 pylons, and none of the pylons actually blocked anything. So the drones just walked right past the pylons and just killed the cannon. It was the most hilarious thing. It's like, obviously that was impromptu and not practiced.
Well, if you can do it well, like a player, a well-known North American player, Wannabe Cool, he is really well known for his cannoning. Optic Zero is actually well known for his cannoning as well. If you can do it well like a player of that caliber, then it can be really scary. Now, as you can see, the cannon is up. It's being walled off by the core and the gateway, so it's going to be difficult for LosirA to put on any sort of early aggression. His queens are finishing up here. He's actually mined only 40 additional gas besides his metabolic boost gas, so just got about 40 extra gas. Pulled all of his drones, though, out of the extractor this time instead of just 2.
Yep, just wants to make sure he gets his economy going nice and strong. And not surprising from a player like LosirA that he would do that. I mean, he is a very good macro player. He went for a timing attack last game, but he really does shine the most when he's playing a macro game.
He really does. That's what he's known for. He likes to show the world that, you know, it's not all he has up his sleeve, but he can do it from time to time. Now, Ro12 going up for LosirA again. I don't think we're going to see anything like we saw last game.
No, I don't think so.
But Stargate going up for TricKsteR. This is a very different opener than we saw last game, but he's still following up with the Stargate.
He might still make like, you know, 5 roaches just to pressure, and then use that to put enough pressure on TricKsteR that he can expand to a 3rd. Is what I'm thinking. I don't think he's going to go all in or anything like that.
Zealot came and took the watchtower, killed the Zergling. I really like this. Is a new phenomena, so to speak, where Protosses are being brave with like 1 Zealot in this type of scenario, because most Zergs like LosirA will just be making 10 drones. You can see right now he's making 10 drones. How many Zerglings does he have on the field? 3. Why not just make 1 Zealot and get out on the map and be annoying like we're seeing right now?
Yeah.
Force some Zerglings.
Yeah,
Make sure your opponent can't do
those 3
things
Zerglings are not going to kill the Zealot, so you get some free damage. And yeah, I was a little surprised to see his Ro12 finish and him make 10 drones, even though he knew that Zealot was out there. I think he knew, didn't he?
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
But even so, the Zealot's not going to be able to kill this hatchery on its own. And he's actually still making drones as if he's not noticed this. There he goes. Finally, has 5 Zerglings.
He made 4 Zerglings. And they're going to take out that Zealot. Pretty significant damage. Check off probably a third of the hatchery's total health.
That means if he wants to go for a timing attack later or use this Void Ray that just popped out and do a lot of damage, he's going to send the Void Ray, of course, first to take out the Overlord on the edge of the base that he tried to chase down earlier.
Yep. It's an interesting, I mean, it's a trade-off situation. You show your Void Ray when you do that, but then you also supply block them oftentimes if you do that, so.
This is very true.
But what that means is he's not going to, I mean, and it's very uncommon to see players really go for like a big attack. And oh, that's what happened. He actually canceled his Roach Warren right as it was about to finish. I'm sorry, so I missed that before. So there we go. Observer showing us that he actually canceled the Roach Warren. That's why he switched things up a bit. Now building an infestation pit instead. Spore Crawler going down at that third. Very smart.
Yeah, got to make those spores. Because, you know, all sorts of things end up happening if you don't. It's a big investment to make the spores, but the Stargate as well is a big investment. Now, this Void Ray is going to try to catch some Overlords as TricKsteR is, of course, trying to break out of his base. Though we're going to shot the Void Ray now. He's actually stopped 2 Creep Tumors and also killed an Overlord.
And might just...
Got to be careful with that Void Ray.
4. Oh, take some health damage. Down to 145 out of 150 health.
The positioning of the Infestation Pit makes it so the Void Ray can't actually scout that. No matter how hard he tries to poke in, he's probably not going to be able to get close enough. He's going to try right now, though. The Void Ray is actually going into the main. He's attacking the Evolution Chamber. And there's no second Queen in the main. TricKsteR may decide to go for this Queen. I think it would be a mistake, though. He does decide to back away.
Yeah. Especially since he hadn't recharged all of his shields yet.
Yeah. Overlord speed is done. The Overlords are getting very mobile on the map. Here he's going to catch another one as the third base goes down. So this Void Ray has actually gone now up to 4 kills. He's been able to do a lot of damage with it, clean up Overlords, clean up Watchtowers.
And these 5 Infestors are going to pop out with the Pathogen Gland upgrade, by the way. He timed it so that they popped out right after that upgrade finished. So they have a fungal growth each on them already. Very smart move. And he's also researching Burrow and +2 melee weapons. And there we go. I was going to say Neural Parasite probably as well. Very smart move. And he researched that after he scouted the main, and I believe he saw that Colossus are coming out.
Yeah, he saw the Robotics support bay. Checking for the third base. LosirA just doing great job with these Overlords. TricKsteR has his Void Ray searching everywhere. He's got Stalker searching everywhere. LosirA has sent his Overlords in so many different places. TricKsteR can't stop them all. Yeah. And, you know, he finally did get in there, see those Colossi. He got Neural Parasite. Now, there's been some controversy about what's going to be changed from Neural Parasite recently. To give you guys an update on that, a lot of people I know hadn't heard the update. First, it was announced that it was going to no longer affect massive units, but that has since been reverted. But instead, I believe the range is 2 less than normal. Yeah. So it's still going to be very difficult to Neural Parasite Colossi in the future. Yeah, since with the Thermal Lance, Colossus have a range of 9, and Neural Parasite used to have, well, still has a range of 9, and their proposed change is to reduce the range till 7. Yeah. So that they would actually have to get within range of the Colossus to Neural Parasite them and might die, basically, is the idea there. Make it more difficult to just take them over. Yeah, it also affects Thors as well, but that's not the matchup we're talking about. The Infestors are sneaking around on the other side. Needs to be careful with them. I'm surprised he's not using Burrow to do that, because, of course, he has Burrow researched, and they're cloaked, in a sense, while that's going on. A Void Ray attacking a Queen at the north. If he kills his Queen, he might be able to do some damage to the hatchery. But a second Queen is coming to join. I guess you guys won't get a shot of it, but... That's all right, but actually he has a lot of Zerglings coming in here. This might be suicidal by LosirA. He actually gets some Fungals down. And Neural Parasites both of the Colossus, making it so they can't clean up the Zerglings. The third Colossus gets knurled as it comes into the battle as well. And in the meantime, the Zergling's able to just kill those Colossus. Beautiful move, actually. Is he going to walk that? No, he's not going to, but the Zerglings may be able to polish it off. No, probably not with those Zealots there. He's trying to. Did a lot of damage, though. That was actually really... I thought LosirA was just going to die there, but those clutch Neural Parasites taking over the Colossus saved all those Zerglings. And that one Colossus he controlled at the top of the ramp killed 3 Zealots on his own and damaged the pylon quite significantly. You know, he did a decent amount of damage, took over those Colossi, and during all that battle, TricKsteR was trying to take out the hatchery to the north, but he had a second Queen there pop just in time to hold off the Void Ray, so everything is just nice and dandy right now for
Yeah,
LosirA. He's got
LosirA-
total map control.
LosirA is looking good right now, and he's saving up money, and he's getting a greater Spire. He's getting out Corruptors right now as well, which are going to help against the Colossus, who does not want to engage in that choke there. Well, he's being careful. What is he doing,
losing two
LosirA?
Infestors.
Whoa.
Nice micro by TricKsteR, just kind of taunting him a little bit with his Colossus, saying, please neural me, and then just killing the Infestors as they try to get too close. Bugging out with the pathing with the Zerglings there. Now this move out might be a mistake. A Colossus gets captured. And Zerglings running here, but there are a lot of Zealots.
The second Colossus gets captured as well. He just kills off the Colossus with Zerglings and then retreats. LosirA, I think that was a little bit of a mistake.
I'd like to see him just bungle these Zealots instead and then retreat. And there he goes, bungling a lot of the Zealots, even catching some Stalkers.
Charge is not quite upgraded yet, as we can see there. He's falling back, but there we go. I think that's what he should have been stalling for, is the Broodlords. He had a bunch of money saved up when the Greater Fire Spire finished. 8 Broodlords starting to morph now. And he just needs to hold off a little bit longer, though. A lot of Zerglings in production there, and I think that's what he needed, just that one fungal.
Yeah, because guess what? There are only 6 Stalkers. When your opponent has more Broodlords than you have Stalkers and you don't have any other answer, I don't know what you're going to do. He's going to try to send these Zealots over here to end this space, but I don't think that's going to work. They will clean up the majority of these Zerglings, but the Broodlords can come and shut that down completely.
Yeah, Chargelot's actually doing really, really well against those Zerglings, but doesn't do any good to chop up Broodlings, man. There was just more where that came from. So he's retreating with those Zealots. And this is not looking too good for TricKsteR. He's now behind about 50 supply, and he just, like you said, he just doesn't have an answer for those Broodlords. He's making Archons, he's making a Void Ray, but still just I don't think that's going to be quite enough.
I mean, he's made a Warp Prism even. He's going to try to do some of that harassment we've seen with Zealots and Dark Templar type of play where you just warp in a bunch of Zealots at a base and target it down, ignoring everything else that's going on. But even if he can kill a hatchery of LosirA somewhere, it's just not going to matter. LosirA has 92 drones out right now. He's got 5 bases. He's got all the saturation he needs. Look at how much damage these Broodlords are going to do. Even though the Stalkers blink forward here, there's just so many Zerglings, they're going to regret it. Void Rays coming in from the side, though, targeting down these Broodlords. The Corruptors are actually attacking the Colossi instead, so these Broodlords are falling quite quickly.
Yeah, this is actually kind of a big mistake by LosirA. He actually just kind of suicided a lot of stuff.
Yeah, now he's losing Corruptors as well.
And is not even going to get that Void Ray. That was a little strange. I mean, you need to keep your Zerglings underneath your Broodlords to protect them from Blink Stalkers, but he just charged them in and let them die to Archons and Colossus Fire. So I'm not sure exactly what LosirA was thinking of that. He just does have too much supply, though. I think it might not even matter at this point.
Well, there is a Warp Prism over in the corner that he's going to try to make use of. He already did force a cancel on a hatchery with that Warp Prism. Just warped in a few Zealots. He lost all the Zealots, but it doesn't matter. He's going to try to use that, I think, in just a second in the main base. There's that Warp Prism. He wants to make use of that, keep harassing LosirA, keep him in his base while he can secure another base, but there's an Overlord spewing creep blocking the hatchery at the bottom right that he wants to take. There's also a Zergling there, and the Zergling isn't even burrowed. If he burrows the Zergling, then it's just going to get even more annoying to deal with. It's just so difficult right now for TricKsteR to take a 4th base. He really needs to, though.
I guess LosirA is basically just taking advantage of his economy here. He's got a bunch of Zerglings out. He keeps losing tons of Zerglings, but I guess he feels he has infinite Zerglings. Large warp in here. 6 Zealots rallied straight to that infestation pit. If he could take that out, that would actually be a huge...
Yeah, his Void Rays could be much more effective. Not only that, but also his Colossi, if he can get that. He does get it. Warping in actually more Zealots here, and even the Zerglings and Broodlings might not be able to clean them up.
Just barely.
Kind of surprising, TricKsteR doesn't have +3 yet. He's just now starting, getting +1 weapons for his Void Rays as well. These upgrades are something I feel he should have gotten a lot earlier. Since this game has gone on for 20 minutes, he's had plenty of time to research those. He just doesn't have a 4th base. He's sinking a lot of gas into those Colossi.
Yeah, and he only has a few Colossus at this point. LosirA has very intelligently made a lot of Corruptors, and he hasn't changed them all into Broodlords. That's going to be very helpful against the Void Rays and against the Colossi.
He made a Nidus network that he might make use of defensively, perhaps, or even offensively. He's got a lot of different opportunities. Now, it looks like the creep doesn't quite block that Nexus, so he may be able to take this now. but it's very known about by LosirA. LosirA can just send a group of units over there.
There's a Nidus Worm in the main.
Ooh.
He doesn't see it. He is not reacting to this Nidus Worm at all, and I believe a bunch of Zerglings are going to pop out of it.
It's not even in his vision. He can't see it. He sees it now.
There we go.
He's targeting down the Stargate, actually, with these Zerglings. A smart choice.
And distracting in the front as well so that he can't fall back. And actually, he's not even doing anything about the big drop in his main. And here he's going to have to deal with a huge attack in the front as well. Corruptor's going in. Zergling's taking fire so the Corruptors can kill off the Void Rays. Broodlord's coming from behind as well. He kills off all the Void Rays now, so he should probably fall back a little bit with those Corruptors. They are dying to the Archons very quickly, but they take out at least one Colossus in the meantime. Stalker's coming in from behind as well. There's no more ground units. He might be able to blink in and kill those Broodlords. More Zerglings coming in from underneath, though.
There's just so many Zerglings and Broodlings there. The Stalkers just can't engage this. And the entire main's been cleaned up. GG. LosirA makes TricKsteR look like a joke. 2-0ing him here, man.
Pretty much.
I gotta say, I mean, that sounds really harsh, but that's what he made him look like in these games.
Yeah, TricKsteR just not looking good at all in any of his 4 games.
No, man, not at all.
And so TricKsteR goes from 2-8 in his last 10 games to 2-12 in his last 16 games. Or 2-14 rather in his last 16 games. He is now on a big, fat, stinking losing streak right now.
Yeah, look at those L's right there, man.
So TricKsteR really not showing what he's capable of. I know he's capable of more play. He's been consistently staying in Codex for several seasons now, and not doing too well in the up and down matches. And now here in the Arena of Legends, not initiating any kind of comeback. So that means Marine King and LosirA are going to be battling for the spot to get out of this group. Both players have one win match, I guess. One match win against TricKsteR. So the winner of this next match between Marine King and LosirA is going to, in fact, take the semifinal spot from this group.
Yeah, this is the final match. It's down to the wire. Marine King, who's had some struggles recently, but just barely punched his way out through the trapdoor. He's climbed out. He's now in Code S again.
Yep.
He's playing against someone who made it all the way to the Code S finals 2 seasons ago. The countdown has started. Who is going to take it? Only one can advance out of this group. I am Wolf. With me is Moletrap. This is the Arena of Legends.